No, they didn't flip. I think it's because there's two.
Yo, no, there they are.
They are.
The
They are.
first time, right?
Yeah, nice. There they are. Right. 12 minutes. 12
Okay.
minutes. We're gonna give a 10-minute warning.
Wild to
12
get that
minutes.
working. But can the student pull it away in the final 12 minutes?
He switched immediately. He's animist.
There it is. He's animist. Let's check gold immediately.
Yo, he's rich.
60 minutes of gameplay, 29 in-game years, and 100 ducats income from gold. This is how I won my first battle at Parabellum with an insane tactic, and what problems I had to face and what problems you could avoid to do this same strategy as S6 to get the highest income in the world in just 29 years, with the second one, Ming, only having half of your income. So let's get right into the talk about my Parabellum match from last Wednesday. So first of all, I wanted to say that I actually did this battle against Orbis, who played as Mali in this match. We could actually choose any nation on the entire planet to play, basically. So yeah, and also Corbett just said in the end that he forgot about this strategy as Aztecs. So it is really no wonder and no bad thing to lose with Mali against Aztecs. So it was a very nice battle, and you're going to see in a second when I talk about that it was way closer than you might think right now. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about my game that is open right now. This is the exact same original game, and what problems I had, what strategies I used, and how you could get 111 income in just 29 years as Aztecs. So there are a few points, actually 4 points that I want to talk about, which the first one is actually the golden era. And I'm going to get to the interesting part with, you know, the religion and so on later, but first of all, you can see that I am right now in a golden era. You can already see that I am in a golden era for already 10 years, okay? Now, the thing is that in this format where you have only 60 minutes to play, real life minutes, and, you know, only like 20 to 30 in-game years to play, the golden era is the biggest advantage that you can literally always get. I mean, of course, if you play like Ulm or something, that might get a little bit harder, but I think you know what I mean, you know, because you can see you can easily reach the humiliate rival over here, as I did very early into the game. You can easily reach 100 development, or I think discover America, for example, as Portugal. You can do this immediately. Also, you can get onto 2 continents very easily, especially if you are in Europe. You know, in this case, I didn't even need to do that. And a large city is always available, especially if you want to dev gold up, as you can see, to 20 development in this one province over here, which is of course because of the monument. I'm going to talk about that in a second. So the golden era basically gives you, you know, 10% morale, 10% all powers cost, 10% goods produced, basically 10% of everything. And the earlier you get that, the faster you can scale. So this is the most important thing that you need to do in any kind of speedruns, basically. And let's be honest, this is nothing else than just a speedrun. In-game years speedrun, as you don't have time for playing more than 30 years. And also a real-life speedrun, of course, of only 60 minutes of gameplay. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is a thing that I cannot really show you right now because I'm no longer Nahuatl, I'm animist. But there is this doom mechanic that you actually have to be a little bit aware of. As the more provinces you get, the more doom you get monthly, okay? So, and you have actually this monument. This gives you minus 2 in yearly doom reduction, or plus 2 reduction in this case, but it's basically minus 2 yearly doom, okay? Now, this helps, of course, a lot, but still, you get per province plus 1 yearly doom. So this is really, really important that you don't conquer everything, right? I could have, of course, united the entire Mexican region, but then it would be way harder to keep the doom in places, basically. And I didn't want to flip to Animus too early because I wanted to make use of the special CB that the Aztecs have, which of course is an instant CB on everyone around, including these natives over here that you normally wouldn't get claims on, as you can see. And also it is of course less AE and more prestige and so on. So this is really why I wanted to convert as late as possible to Animus. And I think now it's the time to talk about that conversion to Animus a little bit. Maybe there are a few people that didn't know this strategy exists or at this point, so I'm just going to explain it real quick. You know, as a native tribe, so you can see these guys over here are native tribes, for example, and it literally doesn't matter which religion these tribes are because they are a native tribe by reforms, and therefore they will always suffer the native penalty, which includes a 90% reduction for gold income, okay? Which is the reason why, if I just go to TE over here to reduce the Terra Incognita over here. Of course, not going to click anything. But you can see this gold province over here, even though it has 4 development, it only gives you 0.26 ducats of gold income with 1% autonomy, right? So this is normally, it would literally give you 2.6 ducats, okay? So literally you get only 10% of the gold income normally if you are native tribe. Now, the good thing about Aztecs is that they are not a native tribe. They are an Aztec empire. This is a tier 1 monarchy reform over here, and you are this even if you can't click this over here if you are still Nahuatl, right? But there comes the other aspects. If you are in a specific technology group, so in this case Mesoamerican or also South American and so on, and if you are the religions of Mayan, Nahuatl or Inti, then you are also native, but only in this combination, okay? Which means that if you are this Mesoamerican tech group and switch out of the Nahuatl or Mayan or Inti religion into Animus, for example, as I did in my game, of course, then you don't have this combination anymore and you are no longer considered native, which means that you get literally the entire gold income that you would normally get as Europeans, for example, as well, right? Now I had a little bit of problems to convert to Animist faith because I wanted to get rebels basically, and most people know that if you send a missionary to a to another religion, then this will trigger zealots normally. Okay, and I literally tried that. I tried that in this province over here, which was my core. It didn't work. Okay, and the reason for that I found right now, it might be wrong, but I think it's actually true. So if you think it's wrong, you could tell me what you think that was the reason. But I think what I found out is pretty plausible over here, because you see apparently right now on the current patch, I don't think it was always the case, but I think on the current patch is literally the question which rebel type causes the most unrest. Okay, and you can see over here on this province over here that there is 11.5 unrest from separatism. Okay, which means that even if you would send I did try to send a missionary over here, this exact province, while it already was my core, I did try it. And of course you have to keep in mind that those rebels are not over 30%, of course, but even if you then send a missionary over here, it wouldn't trigger zealots because the separatism is causing 11.5 unrest and a missionary only causes 6 unrest. Okay, so basically there is the unrest preference of the rebels over here for the separatist rebels that you can see over here. Now, at some point, I was basically a little bit panicking. At some point, I figured out that I should wait for the separatism to tick down, because that was literally the only thing that I could think of, right? And that is exactly what I did, because I waited on this province over here until the recent uprising modifier went away. There was one before. And at the same time, the separatism ticked down. You can see there's only 2.5 right now. I think it was like 4 or something, 4.5 separatism when I sent the missionary there. And at that point, that missionary causes more unrest than the separatism, and therefore I got animist zealous over here. And now the interesting part of the Nahuatl religion, or actually all native religions over here, basically Nahuatl, Mayan, and Inti, as I said, those are native religions. So if you are that religion and the same tech group and so on, then you are a native tribe. The interesting part of that is that as a native tribe with a native religion, you can literally accept the demands of the rebels, of any zealots, it literally doesn't matter, any zealots other than your native religion, and you will instantly convert to that. Okay, so you don't have to have more than 50% of your development with that religion. You can instantly convert, and that is what I used in my strategy over here. I just triggered the rebels and immediately accepted their demands, as you saw in the intro on the reaction of Lathe and Redhawk. So at that point it went pretty smoothly, and at that point I only needed to develop provinces, which I'm going to talk about as the last part of this video. But first of all, for those of you who don't actually know, the religion penalty normally is giving actually a goods produced penalty. As you can see over here in this other region over here, these guys haven't accepted or have a negative tolerance to the religion, so they have -10 goods produced. Okay, now you see it's very easy actually to get positive tolerance of the heretics as pagan actually, because you can see there is only a -2 to heretics, and then the legitimacy is +1, and the enforced interfaith dialogue, so the Burger's privilege over here gives +2. So therefore I didn't even need to convert anything. There's literally no penalty whatsoever on any of my provinces, okay? And for those of you who would ask now, yeah, but you need to accept cultures or something. No, I don't. Cultures literally have zero impact on the production income, okay? You can see there is more unrest, less tax, less missionary strength, less manpower, less sailors, but nothing that affects this production efficiency over here. Okay, so no problem, I don't have to accept religions. I could save up every single diplo point I had. I was of course focusing and with a level 5 advisor for the entire campaign, and actually Moctezuma was a little bit better earlier, so that is what I went through to death, and that's what I'm going to talk about real quick before I end up this video. Because there are still a little bit interesting things to talk about strategic development. Now, the biggest upside of playing Aztecs in comparison to Mali, for example, is of course as simple as that, the number of gold provinces that are available. Okay, you can see there are literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gold provinces always enabled. Okay, and this one over here has also a 95% gold chance, so if you get a native tribe on this province, this is also 100% gold basically. And it also has a nice monument that I sadly couldn't get, which gives goods produced modifier +1, +2, +3 on each level. So this province is really important, but yeah, I think 100 gold income is more than enough over here, so I don't have to think about that anymore. But literally the number of gold provinces is what got me the win over here, of course. And if I sort by local production value over here, then you can see that I have in this gold province 10 production, 11 production, 11 production, 11 production, 7, 7, 5, 10, 10, and then Mexico 20, which was the last one that I put all my last development into. You know, I spread the development very evenly because of one little thing, which is, of course, the gold depletion chance. You can see right now on this 11 development, there is only a 0.71 chance of depleting for this gold mine, which you of course don't want to happen, right? This would cost a lot of Diplo points to get back to the same level again, right? So that is what I went through, and then, as you know, so I just developed my points into the provinces that had less than 10 development, right? And then I did that only when I hit the capacity of 1,500 points. And then in the last few months of the game, I spent literally all of my points developing mostly Mexico over here, as well as, of course, you know, any other gold mine that I could spend money or that I could spend development on, which is mostly in this Mexico state, as you might notice, because this state has prosperity, and of course mostly into the Mexico province because it has the monument that gives literally plus 50% local goods produced modifier. Okay, as well as development costs in the area. So this is the perfect area to dev your gold mines in, because literally the entire state consists of gold mines. Okay, so this is what I went through in the strategic development department, and I think that's all I wanted to talk about. This was a really fun experience to play, and I hope it goes on with these very unique challenges. Definitely check out the Parabellum YouTube and Twitch channel, because in 2 days on Wednesday there will be another match where I'm going to be competing against Slavic Big Z himself. So that will be a very hard battle, of course, but we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see what challenge Lathe and Redhawk and Mitch set up for us, and I hope you enjoyed the video, this little talk for today, and we're going to see, as always, on the next Wednesday or on the next Monday.